His tattoos. Very cool jersey. I know. Damn.
And soon as day all you need. With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 biggie bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fried co-pilot. Just like us. We're like the bag boys. What? Bag boys, bag boys. What you gonna do?
Very cool jersey.
When we bring your food? For a deal you can count on, head on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. Bag boys, bag boys.
Price participation may vary. Includes choice of JVC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
If you like getting less from your Medicare Advantage plan, this message isn't for you. But if you want more, listen up. Because the WellCare No Premium Ruby HMO Medicare Advantage plan is here to give you more and more. As in the WellCare Spendables debit card, preloaded with $101 every quarter, $404 every year to use for over-the-counter health items. So if you're ready for Medicare Advantage with more benefits, more personal support, and more help with everyday healthcare costs, call WellCare because we're ready to give you more. Enroll now at wellcareforca.com. WellCare is the Medicare brand for Centene Corporation, an HMO, PPO, PSSS, PDP plan with a Medicare contract, and as an approved Part D sponsor. Our D-SNP plans have a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal.
News Talk 580 1059 KMJ.
Word Avenue, okay.
And now, back to the Real Money Pros. We are back. This is Real Money Pros. RealMoneyPros.com. You can find us there. You can interact with us.
Down.
Ask the experts feature. Now, this segment of the Real Money Pros is brought to you by Ataraxis PTO, professional employer organization.
Oh man, people drive a little too fast here
solely on
too.
your business without the stress, overhead, and liability
Sperry, there
handling
was
HR
Sperry.
administration
Not
yourself.
sure. It's bottom of
Call them,
Dubai.
go to their website, go to ataraxispto.com.
Let's go
That's
forward.
ataraxispto.com/offer or contact us at the Real Money Pros and we'll connect you to them. When we talk about outfitting yourself, this is the equivalent of doing your planning. So you've got a job, you've got the ability to save some money, you're going to have some goals. And just like where Jeremiah and Nick go out to go hunting, they've got to understand what it is that they're after. Okay, they want to know. And they're going to focus on things that are realistic. So they're going to go to an area they can access. They're going to buy the right equipment. They're going to wear the right clothes. They're going to set up the camp. The same thing happens when an investor goes out there. So take, for example, my son, he's 21. Dad, what do you think about, let's say, a crypto digital asset? Well, Cooper, one is you don't have income. You don't really know what your goal is other than you just want to get rich, which if you're a hunter, you might as well just go drive your car and hope you hit elk on the highway because you're not outfitted in any sort of way to actually effectively get there. Then it's what type of an account are you going to put this in? What's the taxes? What are the taxes? What's this going to do to your qualifications for getting into or getting your loans for school or grants, or could you mess up things? Meaning we want to know the environment. Once you're outfitted, then you're going to go out there into the environment, and now you're going to start dealing with things that you just may not be thinking about. So headwinds, tailwinds, things like that. Elk can smell things, and they know it's hunting season. It's the weirdest thing. Because if you could be in Idaho in May and run into an elk on the trail, he's just going to look at you and keep eating. This time of year, they won't be seen. They know they're being hunted. Stocks and the markets, things like that.
Someone's speeding. I mean, I'm not
We
the
know
one
that
that's
there's other investors
going
out there
high
that
rate
are
of
knowing
speed.
that they're going to be hunted. And there's smart money and dumb money out there. And
I'm not the one that's speeding, you know. We're trying to hit people from behind.
All kinds of news
You
that
know?
in some cases we don't really care about.
Don't honk at me, because I'm not the one that's doing something wrong.
And how things are going to be.
Blame others for their mistakes.
So, Jeremiah, let's talk about some of the information that we had this last week come out. Jobs, one of them, the Federal Reserve meeting, which caused a big reaction. Now, you got to remember, the start of this week, I mean, on Tuesday, that was the last trading day of October. And basically, we were going off of a 3-month.
And it starts to go right as I'm going. How dumb.
We were actually in correction.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
Trading session on Monday, you had a correction territory, which is a 10% drop. So we saw about a 10% drop from the peak in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ.
Slow down.
July. And this was
driven by
drag
this
racing.
renewed concern, this renewed rise
I hate
in
people
long-term
who own those type of
government
cars that
bond
do
yields.
they're
And then
all
not
that.
to mention, we're seeing earnings reports come in, some good, some bad, some flat, some alluding to maybe some headwinds going into the future. But again, when we're looking at earnings reports, this is just a point in time. It's a point in time, and again, the market's going to react and reprice these stocks based on what they feel the forward-looking guidance is going to be, what the forward profitability of these companies are going to be. Fast forward later into the week, and you run into Wednesday, where the Federal Reserve meeting. All eyes are set on what is our central bank going to do with interest rates. This is what has been driving the market volatility, particularly in the bond market, of where our interest rates are going to go. Largely, the expectation was the Federal Reserve was not going to make a move up or down. They were going to keep things status quo, which they did confirm. But then again, we were looking at the commentary, the Q&A, the presentation by Jerome Powell, which in the past has driven markets one way or the other. A lot of times the prepared comments and commentary is a bit different from his off-the-cuff, anecdotal take, and the market is trying to really grasp what they're going to do moving forward. Because you have to remember, Wall Street markets, they're a discounting mechanism. They are looking forward. It's trying to essentially speculate where are interest rates going next year into 2025. So after that meeting, expectations change. Now, how long will those expectations last? It's going to depend on data. It's going to depend on what the comments that are made. Again, it's just going to be more speculation. So what does that mean to you as an investor? That's going to be a really tough thing to manage emotionally and, I guess, technically, when you're trying to grasp, okay, what does this comment mean? What does this comment mean? Okay, the Fed's staying put. This jobs report's high, but, if you pierce back the data, part-time jobs are making up majority of that growth. Does that benefit you or suit you as an investor? Meaning, are you focused on the right thing? And in my opinion, I think when you're talking about smart money and dumb money, I think that the latter of the two would be more focused on those short-term items. And I think that's an important thing to grasp.
And let me distill this down to the day-to-day investor and why this matters to you, because we've talked about for the last 20 years about how hard it is as an investor to generate stable, reliable income. Well, right now you can generate it. The risk is, and I'll explain this with the teeter-totter on the bonds and yields here in a moment. The risk is that when you buy a bond right now or some sort of a fixed income position where you're going to generate the income, is that you're going to have to be satisfied with the yield you're getting off it. So, for example, if you could pick up a yield of 6% like in a CD, you may kick yourself a little bit a year from now if it's now yielding 7, 8%.
There goes another one.
We had Bill Gross,
Trying
who used
to
to
drag
be
race.
the world's largest bond fund manager with PIMCO. He's now independent. He does his own thing. And he decided that he was done shorting the bond market, which was his indication saying he thinks the Fed's nearly done. Well, this is when you want to lock in the income. And if you've not done the planning yet, then you don't even know how much income you need to generate. But would you be happy with generating 7, 8, 9%? Even if yields went a little bit higher here shortly? Because my message in 23 years of broadcasting is I never have known where the tops are or where the bottoms are, but I do know good value. So when you have a market that comes down like it has, there's a point where you're going to have to say, okay, this is good enough. Go back to 2008, news articles talking about how the S&P 500, the Dow is going to lose even more of its value, go down another 50%. But at some point, you have to look at it, okay, well, this is good enough. I mean, you had, the Dow had gone from what I recall, was like 12,000 down to 6,000. The news article headlines are saying 50% more, so it's going to go down to 3. And I'm thinking, well, let's imagine that the Dow just gets back to 12 and it's at 6 at this moment. That means if it gets back to where it used to be, then that's 100% gain. So does it really matter if you bought in with some of your investment dollars, if you bought, let's say, for that example, the Dow, and then it goes down to 3,000, so you lost some value temporarily, but your goal is still 12. And so, what's the difference? If for you, yes, you can say it's a big difference. Well, then you chunk your money in. But on the income side of it, we've got an opportunity right now, which is if you know you can get a treasury that is yielding at 5%, you're comfortable with that, you like the taxation of it, why would you buy this soon? Because in the next segment, I want to talk about how the price relates to the yield. The yield is something I think a lot of people just maybe can't conceptualize visually, but we're going to explain it visually. And if you watch us on therealmoneypros.com, like us on YouTube, any of that, follow our newsletters, we have these visuals for you. We explain how things work. And I'm going to do that when we come back with this topic of these yields and why you may really want to consider bolstering your income accounts, maybe really reconsidering what you have set aside as cash or for growth investments long term. Because if we can get these numbers right, we get your buckets correctly designed, then you're going to be in better shape. This is Real Money. Are you a business owner juggling your time between growing revenue, reducing costs, and handling HR responsibilities? The good news is there's a better way to manage HR that will reduce your costs and give you more time to grow your revenue. When you partner with a PEO, you have experts handle all of your HR responsibilities, including payroll, benefits, workers' compensation, and recruiting. I hired Atarax's PEO for my business because they actually do the work for us, and they truly focus on my business. They keep us compliant to make sure our employees are taken care of with whatever they need. It's like having our own HR and payroll department without the cost, overhead, and liability of trying to do it ourselves. For over 10 years, Atarax's PEO has been helping businesses with employees in more than 25 states. They care enough to learn about your business, understand what you need, and are committed to helping your company grow and succeed. Find out what Atarax's PEO can do for your business. Visit ataraxpeo.com. That's ATARAXISPEO.com or the Real Money Pros website for more information. That's ataraxpeo.com. Worst air quality in the nation.
Worst air? Where?
Right here. Yes, smoke, pollution, pollen. The air inside is even worse. All that nastiness is suffocating your home purpose, making it work harder, die food.
What for the people to serve?
Actually, that's why you need to change your air filter every month.
Every month?
I have the better solution. Sean's Fresh Airification.
Fresh airification.
Dust, no pollen, no mold, no smoke. Just the cleanest, freshest, clean, and pure air you'll ever breathe. Fresh Airification even removes nasty viruses and bacteria. That's what Fresh Airification and your home comfort system. Never have to change the air filter.
Never, ever.
You'll do it with your annual home comfort refresh. Yes.
And I'm Annette with Shaw's Home Comfort, and we're honored to serve you. Fresh airification. Hey Jen, sorry I'm late. I had to stop for gas. Yeah, I can't believe how much it costs me for gas now. I know, everyone's still talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app? Yeah, I earn back up to 25 cents a gallon every time I buy gas. What? That sounds like it could really add up. It sure does. I've made over $300 already. Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CAR30 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, through PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CAR30 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code CAR30 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up.
Wonderful product. Almost 111 pounds using that product. 111 pounds. You could not believe the difference. I went from a 48 pant to a 33 pant, and I've maintained that now for over almost a year now. Yeah, absolutely. Andrew 400 has helped me lose 111 pounds, and I've maintained my weight for almost a year now.
Thanks, James, for that inspiring testimony and 111 good reasons to choose Andro 400, the most effective and natural way to lose belly fat, increase libido, gain energy, strength, and muscle, while safely boosting your testosterone level. So, guys, how many reasons do you need for trying Andro 400? Well, here are 2 more great reasons. Order now and get free shipping plus an additional $6 off when you use the code SAVE6. That's SAVE6. Call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435 or go to andro400.com. andro400.com.
News Talk 580-1059 KMJ. This is the Real Money Pros. We are back. This is the Real Money Pros, and it's sponsored by Apollo Wealth Management. They're partners of our firm, Tree City Advisors of Apollo. If you're an advisor,
and you're seeking to improve your client experience, or if you're an investor seeking to elevate your wealth management to a higher personal standard, contact us at therealmoneypros.com or go to Solid Wealth Management website if you want to learn more about them. But better firm, we like the way that they operate, and it certainly improves our client experience and our advisor experience. Jeremiah, so when I was talking about bonds, the reason why I want to visually talk about this is I want everybody to think about this teeter-totter so you can understand how the yields work. So on the left-hand side in your mind of the teeter-totter, put a dollar sign over there. That's the price. Okay, the price of the bond. Those bonds are issued at $1,000 as far as increments go. So put $1,000 over there in your mind. On the other side of the teeter-totter, now we're going to put a percentage. The percentage is going to represent yield. Okay, the yield is if you had $1,000 into bonds and you were generating $50 a year worth of income, because the bond is in essence a loan that you made to some entity. They're going to pay you $50 a year to borrow your money, and let's imagine it's for 10 years. So that's the maturity. 10 years maturity. In the middle of it is the fulcrum, right? That's why the teeter-totter drops. And we may have to back in on one side, that's fine. And it may be longer or whatever, but let's just imagine the fulcrum's in the middle. That's what we write that number $50, because that's the annual.
So I just want to recap this real quick to really pay attention, because this is important. Very important to help you understand what is moving markets, especially on the fixed income side. Again, on the left side, the dollar amount, $1,000. In the middle, the fulcrum, we have $50, which represents the amount of interest or money that the bond is paying you annually. You spent $1,000 to get this bond, and your expectation is to get $50 every year from this bond, and then that yield calculation, so it's important to understand the math in here. To calculate your yield, you divide the annual payment amount of $50 by the purchase amount, which is $1,000, which comes out to 5%. So you bought a bond for $1,000, you are getting paid $50 a year, which means that your yield, your performance measurement in the form of income is 5%.
Okay, so you bought it at original issue, you got it at $1,000. But now let's say that you like it, so you want to go out there and maybe buy more of it. You looked at your statements and you're noticing that your bond that you thought was worth $1,000 in the secondary market has come down to $900. Okay, so now on the left-hand side, you put the $900 over there.
Many people like to show off here. Guy running for